Hi, I'm Amy Sweetman. I work in the psychology department at Los Angeles City College. I've been there for more than 20 years, and I've also taught online for more than 13 years. I want to be completely honest with you. I find Zoom to be exhausting. I find that the lack of student feedback and me feeling like, oh my gosh, am I boring them turning on and off their screen, it gets to me. And so I've really looked for ways to try to set up activities where I can interact with them, that I know that I'm still reaching them, because that's what I miss so much about the classroom, is not feeling like I'm connected to them. So I found this tool. I'm sure maybe a lot of you already know about it, but I just wanted to share some things. There's such amazing things that you can do with this tool. It's called Padlet, and it's free. You can sign up for free, get 3 Padlets to start. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to share my screen so I can show you some of the amazing things that you can do with Padlet. So what you do is you type in Padlet.com, and you get all of these different options. So let me tell you a little bit about them. This one here, and I'll show you examples, but I like to show you this opening screen. As you can see, you can sign up for free. You get 3 Padlets. I pay the $8 a month to make multiple Padlets because I use it so often. But that's up to you. You could probably just get away with the free version. So this one is a wall where they post all kinds of pictures and text, whereas this one is a timeline. This one is where you can connect the different pictures. I'll show you examples of each one of these. This is one of my favorites. It's a map where the students can type in an address and it'll drop a pin, and then it will show it. So here, this is a chat stream where they're actually chatting back and forth. This is another version of this. You can post videos to this, so you could have a video day where you show a video in the Padlet, and then some other students finds a video that would support the material that you're going over. Or we had a funny video day one day. Here they're having the students post up what they learned in the lesson. So let me show you some examples of Padlets. So this is an example from another teacher. The way that he does his icebreaker is he does favorite movies. So he has his students post up their favorite movies. And as you can see, it's really fun to see the different pictures and get ideas. Here's another one. This is probably one of the first Padlets that I ever made. I made this one right after COVID, so we all of a sudden had to go online unexpectedly, and I felt like the students were having a little bit of a rough time, so I said, can you please just turn off your video camera for 10 minutes. I'll set the timer for 10 minutes. And I'd like you to choose a word that's going to stabilize you during these times so you can keep moving forward. And then I want you to find anything around your house to make it with. And this is what my students came up with, and I think they did an amazing job. So all they do is, unfortunately, where my video camera is it's closing off, that there's a pink plus sign. It's right below where the screen is capturing right now. But it's just like if your students use Instagram, they totally would know the concept of plus. So you just click on the plus sign. And when I click on the plus sign, do you see how it just made a new place for me right here to add to this? So I would say, this is my happiness word. And then I can use this button here to pick a file. And so I would pick something, there we go, hope, and it's that simple. So the way that you would do this in your classes for icebreakers is you would create your Padlet ahead of time. Let me see if I have, okay, so here's an empty Padlet. So what you would do is you make your empty Padlet ahead of time, and there's all kinds of settings that you can do. So you can change to a gradient, or you could change to a picture background. There's quite a few picture backgrounds, so that's all you do is you set your background, and then you have to go to your settings and make sure that you enable that your users can post, because I think the default is private. And then once your users can post, you copy this web address, you put it in your chat on Zoom or whatever documents you have in Zoom, and then you tell the students, hey, can you guys copy and paste this website in? I'd like you to go to this website, and then I'd like you to post something. So here's one, here's a timeline one where you could have your students, you could go over some kind of historical lesson, and you could have your students post the different events that happened as a review. Here's one that I have the students do at home where they have to make an art project, and as you can see, they can upload their art project and then they can tell you a little bit about it. And what I like so much about Padlet is that we could do this on the discussion board, but I find that the students have a rough time uploading stuff to the discussion board, and then it doesn't give us this full picture. It gives you just like a really nice picture that's very easy to navigate. Here's one that was made by another professor. What they were doing is they put this picture up here, which is a personality type, and then you could drag your, you would post your picture and you would drag the arrows to which one you thought it was, which one you believed you were. Here's another way that you can use it, is you can have the students move things around in it. So let's pretend that you had, like I used emotional words, but you could use whatever words you use for your class. So for example, I had the words of sadness, anger, joy, and fear down here. And these were my students' names. And then I could ask them questions about emotions. Which emotion is most difficult for you to deal with? And then they could drag their names to which one they have a hard time with, or which one do you feel the most? And so we can all be on the Padlet at one time, and they can move things around in it. Okay, so this is one that's I think is really fun, is I uploaded my own picture in the background. It's a psychology kind of test, a funny little psychology test, and the students had to go on and choose which character they were in the picture, and they had to write why they felt like they were that particular person. So I've seen like a kinesiology professor, they used it for, they created the Padlet and then they had the students put down their exercise hours every day on the Padlet. So when they opened up class, everybody could see it. It was such a great tool. Here's one that we did where we used that face app and we made ourselves all look old as a way to say goodbye in the class. So I hope that I've given you some ideas. I really think that you could, just lecture for maybe 10 or 15 minutes, then stop and have everybody post on Padlet. The map here, I don't think I showed you that yet. That's like one of my favorites. So on the map, you could even start your first icebreaker of the semester with a map. So what they do here is they click on plus, and then we could say 855 North Vermont Avenue. And then what it does is it drops a pin into it, and then they could write their name. And you could find out where each one of them were born, or you could find out where each one of them would want to go. And I found that, look, there's 27 students that live in this area, so that's kind of difficult. But there's this feature over here that's part of Padlet that will show me all the information of the people that have posted. So even if I find it difficult to see what's going on here, there's a feature where you can see where they're all posted. Anyway, I hope that I've given you some ideas about Padlet, and I hope you have a great semester. Thanks so much.